It's indeed quite heartening as the sponsor for this event to see such a major turnout and a lot better than last year. All I would like to say is that we're happy to do this along with Economic Times, and hopefully we'll be doing it in the future, and not only in the northern region but in the rest of the country as well. Um, the introduction that Mr. Bhardwaj was referring to about, I think I'll leave mine very short because it's only going to be 15 minutes. So I'm the founder and chairman of Net for India. It's a network and application services company. And I think the rest we can leave for you to check out on our website if you really want to. But coming back to this event and why we chose to sponsor it, we as an organization have been for many years now completely concentrated on providing services and solutions to the mid-segment market in India. And we believe that there is going to be significant customization towards the Indian market and then further drill down toward industry verticals as well. And again, that's why part of the choice of the topics related to the cluster-based approach. By and large, a significant part of my presentation is likely to be a bouncer or boring. But I think really the commentary along with it is what's going to be more relevant, specifically targeted at industry associations around clusters. So it is sort of an overhaul in terms of technology, in terms of the presentation that I'm making today. Provide some context, clear up some confusion, probably create some more confusion. That's typically what happens with people who are in the IT business. You think you want something and they come and create even more confusion. It happens to me till today. Provide some definitions, debunk some myths, highlight some opportunities, and provide some tips and shortcuts in a nutshell. So this is, I think, something that is a depiction of what a small business owner or a senior manager at a small business typically will go through when they look at technology-related investments or solutions that they want to do. There's all this talk about Web 2.0, cloud, crowdsourcing, CRM solutions. What the hell is voice over IP? And most people still call it VoIP. What are the kind of business applications? Even though it's stuck in the right-hand corner over there, I think it's going to be a driving force not only for IT services companies in the coming 5 years, but probably one of the biggest equalizers between small enterprises and large enterprises in the coming time is the ability to consume business applications and integrate them across various different functions of the business. And that is going to be achieved obviously through cloud virtualization and some of the other things around here. So each one of these are probably sets and subsets of each other. And as I promised, I have probably confused you even more. So what's the scenario? It's too hard, it's too expensive. Am I going to go for a capital expenditure on this, or am I going to go for an operating expenditure on this? The operating expenditure was not available as a model until a very short while ago. I don't understand it completely. What are the resources? What are the efficiencies it's going to finally deliver? And you don't have dedicated IT resources. Even if you do, you're scared the guy is going to leave, and you're involved in running your business, which you should be. So as a result, what happens is SMEs are underutilizing and underinvesting in technology. I think it's a fact, but it's a fact that's born out of various different compulsions, especially the ones on the previous slide. A lot of times they're overinvesting because they've been given an extremely rosy picture in terms of the efficiencies it's going to deliver, and they don't need to. Overinvesting is far more relevant because you need a certain base minimum resources, IT resources, assuming you'll scale up. And here I think some of the subsequent slides that I'll elaborate on in terms of how collective IT investment can actually benefit small and medium enterprises is going to be very relevant. And I do this till date, even though I run a technology company. I'm not a technical guy by education or even by work experience. So you often look at technology as a cost and not as an investment. And it's extremely hard to change this view, but I think if you keep telling yourself every day, at least half the time you start looking at it as an investment, and that's crucial. So some statistics here in terms of short dipstick type of surveys that we've done. 9 in 10 SMEs don't even measure the benefits they have out of IT. It's really a herd-based approach where if one of their competitors has actually deployed something and has got benefited from it, they feel like they ought to deploy it and they'll automatically benefit. But the truth might be that their operating structures would be completely different and either you'll benefit more or less. But it's not measured, and I think it's crucial to measure what returns you're getting out of investments. The average investment in IT for SMEs is around 6%. This is actually a figure from the Asia Pac region. I didn't have a figure related to India, but it's the whole of Asia Pac, and it's 6% of capital employed, and it's 14% for large businesses. So if the whole theory of diminishing investments once the size increases is there, and they've obviously got a larger amount of capital employed, then actually this should be an inverse figure. SMEs by nature of the amount should actually be investing a larger percentage, especially in the beginning part of their deployment, than larger enterprises. But of course, again, going back to the earlier slides in terms of the problems, those problems do exist. Only 38% saw IT investment as a priority, despite 78% recognizing technology would improve efficiency and 31% believing it would cut costs. Now I think here if the two aspects, if the measurement is concrete in terms of what are you looking to achieve out of the cutting of the cost or improvement of efficiency, then you'll make those investments. But the problem is that the measurement is not there in the first place. Why weren't more investing in IT? Cost and lack of funds, 42% underutilization of existing technology and lack of computing skills, which quite honestly in India should not be that major an issue. So out of those who invested in IT by and large, 92% claimed an increase in efficiency, 73% said it reduced costs, and 62% said it increased their geographic reach, which I find a little difficult to believe. I think it should be higher than that, given the internet world that we live in. Now here's something about India and probably a little bit directly related to our business, which most of this presentation is by and large not, is less than 300,000 businesses in India have a website. When I met with Mr. Bhardwaj and the others at FISME and we were discussing this event, and one of the questions I put up to them was, I get all these conflicting figures everywhere. How many MSMEs are there in India? And if I remember correctly, what he said was if you exclude wholesale, retail, food, transport, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think those are some of those ones. Across India, there's still 26 million MSMEs. I was about to fall off my chair because some of the numbers by and large what we get was is 16 million, and that is why I said small businesses, perhaps because for micro businesses or those involved in retail, some of the IT services are not really relevant unless they're pushed down from the FMCG supplier level to them and therefore give them certain advantages. And fewer than 10,000 have used search engine marketing or search engine optimization. Now one of the things, again in terms of what the Honorable Minister said earlier and Mr. Ganesh Rai, in terms of what is the level of exports that are generated, what is the level of employment that is generated out of MSMEs in India, it's shocking that out of this 300,000 number, in fact the exact number that I've said, and I've said less than, is actually around 250,000. Out of this 250,000, almost 50 to 60,000 are the upper end of the medium and large businesses. After that, approximately 100,000 odd are actually SOHOs involved in various different type of non-manufacturing type of businesses. Could be an HR consultant who's freelancing, or a web designer, or anything like that. That leaves less than 100,000 MSMEs involved in industry that actually have a website. Obviously, it's a great thing to show consultants too, because it shows a massive potential upside in the Indian market.